He lied about his age to join the military because his parents wanted better for him. 42 years later, the United States Army promoted him to general. Then they tried to make sure nobody would ever remember why that mattered. This is Benjamin Oliver Davis, Sr. Born in Washington, D.C. to a messenger and a nurse, two people who had escaped slavery, he wasn't supposed to exist. The system didn't have a category for him. But at 15 years old, he made a choice. He forged his age. He walked into recruitment during the Spanish-American War in 1898 and became a temporary first lieutenant in the 8th U.S. Volunteer Infantry, an all-black unit. The military had no idea what they were getting. He re-enlisted. According to the U.S. Army Center of Military History, within 1 year, Benjamin Davis had risen to Sergeant Major with the 10th Cavalry. The Buffalo Soldiers, a regiment meant to break him. Instead, he broke barriers. A single black officer, Lieutenant Charles Young, saw something in him. Young told Davis to pursue a commission. In 1901, at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, Davis passed the officer's exam. He became the second black officer in the entire United States military, the second, out of millions of soldiers. Then came 40 years of deliberate suppression. According to military records from the U.S. Department of Defense, the Army refused to place Davis in command of white troops, so they sent him everywhere else: Liberia, Philippines, multiple teaching posts. They promoted him, but kept him invisible. He taught military science at Tuskegee, at Wilberforce. He served on the Mexican border. For 4 decades, they made sure nobody ever saw his true rank or capability. Even his promotions were designed to humiliate him. According to Army documentation, Davis changed rank 5 times in 5 years. Captain, Major, Lieutenant Colonel, back to Captain, back to Lieutenant Colonel again. The military was playing puppet with a man's career, trying to break him psychologically. It didn't work. October 25, 1940. At the age of 60, President Franklin D. Roosevelt made it official. Benjamin Oliver Davis, Sr. became the first African-American general in the history of the United States military. Not just the first in the Army, the first, period, across all branches. The military's response? They gave him a meaningless position. They appointed him as an assistant to the Inspector General, a bureaucratic desk assignment designed to keep him out of command. During World War II, while generals fought on battlefields, Davis was conducting inspection tours. They needed his name for the press releases. They needed the optics. They needed to look like they were progressive while keeping actual power away from him. But here's what they didn't count on. Davis was strategic. According to the American Battle Monuments Commission archives and his military testimony, Davis used his position to influence military policy on race relations. He traveled to Europe. He investigated racial tensions within segregated units. He testified before Congress about desegregation. He became an invisible force for integration. Not because he had power, but because he refused to be silenced. And his son? Benjamin O. Davis Jr. watched his father's journey. In 1954, he became the first black general in the Air Force. Then he led the Tuskegee Airmen. Then he commanded the 99th Pursuit Squadron in combat. Then he became a lieutenant general. Then, in 1998, President Bill Clinton gave him something his father never got: a 4-star general rank. President Truman retired Benjamin O. Davis Sr. in 1948 after 50 years of service. 50 years. A soldier who started by lying about his age to escape limited opportunity, who spent half a century breaking a military system designed to destroy him, got a quiet retirement ceremony. He died in 1970 at Great Lakes Naval Hospital in Chicago, buried at Arlington National Cemetery. But here's what nobody tells you. Every black officer after him had a template. Every black pilot, every black commander, every black brigadier general who came after stood on ground Davis had already broken. The Tuskegee Airmen? That happened because Davis Sr. had proven it was possible. Integration of the armed forces. Davis's testimony in 1945 laid the foundation for President Truman's Executive Order 9981 3 years later. One man, against an entire military apparatus designed to suppress him for 50 years. This Black History Month, we don't just celebrate Benjamin Davis. We ask ourselves, what is the system you're walking into? Is it one that will try to erase you? And are you going to spend 50 years fighting it anyway? Because that's what courage looks like. Not the kind that gets medals on the first day. The kind that shows up every single day for half a century. Invisible, unrecognized, building a future for people who won't even know your name. If this doesn't make you think differently about what you're capable of, share it anyway. Because somebody else needs to know this general's name. Somebody else needs to know they can change everything from behind the scenes. Like, share. Follow for the untold stories of Black greatness that built this country.